Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in the previous video we saw how to create a custom API using different methods like using plugin registration tool or Power Apps, solution files. We saw the different methods, and in this video we are going to extend our hands or the series to different binding types, different output parameters. Lot of things are there, so it's going to be extended series. There are going to be around 10 videos on this custom API. So if we focus on our previous this one, here we have, I think, here I showed you how we can retrieve the cases or any entities. Okay, you can just go to my YouTube channel and you can see here we have this develop custom API using Power Apps, solution files, plugin registration tools. All these things are already covered in the previous video. Okay, and for this also, if you are going for creating the custom API, you need to have some tools already installed. That is, we need to have the knowledge of Power Apps. You should have installed this Power plugin registration tool, code base, all these things. You can refer the previous video to know more on this implementation. Now here in this video, we are going to focus on more complex part. That is, let's see if you are coming here, we have create and custom API. This is Microsoft Learn page. And if you scroll down, one second, you'll see lot of different type of binding types available. See here we can see different type of custom API, the way to create. And here if you scroll down here, okay, so we have different binding types. So whenever you go and create a binding type, it'll give you an option to select whether you want to go with the global and global type, entity, or entity collection. So just to show you here, if you come here, one second. Okay, so here you can see this is just a new page to create a custom API in the Power Apps. Same thing. You can create with a plugin registration tool or solution file or XrmToolBox. Anything is fine. So you can see here global entity and entity collection. So in this video, let me show you what we are going to cover. First of all, we are going to create API using XrmToolBox API Custom Manager. Okay. After that, we are going to create the API response parameter, whatever request parameter, and we are going to test that whatever we have already created the API, that also we are going to test with the custom API tester. That is going to be our first goal. After that, we have different binding types as I showed you. So first we are going to create the global type. In the previous video we have already created a global type, but there we have hard coded the value. Hard coded the value, it means, let me show you the code which we used earlier, which is here. See, not this one second, it is another one. Let me just, okay, so if you can see here, the previous video, it we had hard coded the entity value here, which is case. Let's say same way you can just give the case or contact or account, anything. It was in the, it's a type of global entity, but we are not taking the we are not taking the entity value dynamically. We are passing it from the code itself, which is not the that much efficient way. So in this way, in this video, we are going to consider, let me show you once again. Here we have this one, right? So custom API, we are going to, instead of passing the entity schema name from the plugin code, we are going to take it from the user itself. Let's say case, contact, lead, opportunity, whatever, and we can fetch all the records of that entity. The first video we are going to change that one. Second video, it is going to be with the different entity type. So entity type, if you see, let's understand first the global entity and entity collection. But before that, if you're interested to know more about this API or Power Automate or any stuff related to the Dynamics 365, you can just go to my channel Power Dynamics and you can see and learn a lot of things I have already uploaded here. So you can go and find it here, or if you're looking for the particular code which I upload in the video, then you can simply go to my blog here, powerdynamicsblogspot.com, and you should be able to see the code somewhere here itself. I upload my code so that you can just refer it, snapshot plus everything I uploaded here. Okay, you can refer this. Now let's focus on our today's agenda, that is API with a different binding type here. So the global type, it is mostly what you call, it is not associated with any particular entity. Okay, let's say we can give any entity whatever we like. Okay, so let's say if you want to perform any calculations or manipulation on the data that doesn't reside any particular entity, that time you can go for the global entity. It is suitable for the operation that do not involve with the entity records directly. Okay. Now coming to the entity. Okay. So entity, it mainly whenever you want to perform any operation with a specific entity or a specific table, in that case, you need to go with the always entity type. Let's say I want to update a contact record, I want to update the name or something. That time we'll choose the entity type. Same thing, let's say if you want to go with the entity collection. So in this say in this scenario, this type binds, it also binds with a specific entity, but instead of focusing on a specific record, it focus a collection of record of that entity. Let's say you want to perform some bulk operations on the same, on multiple entity records. That time you can go with the entity reference. So now, and after that, with the entity or entity collection, we have this, we are also going to perform the CRUD operation. We are going to see with the, let me show you this one here. See, so we have, one second, let me just zoom it. Okay, so we are going to create 4 different CRUD operations as well, for create, read, update and delete account. And we are going to pass all the value either in the string format or JSON format, whatever. And we are going to invoke the same custom API using Postman as well as custom API tester. So first, right now in this video, we are going to just focus on the XrmToolBox custom API tester, and after that in the later videos I'll show you how we can obtain the URL from the Power Apps and how we can invoke with the Postman. That is a little bit more complex, but first let's focus on this one. Okay. Now here, after that, entity collection. Okay, we are also going to see some of the complex one with the Power Automate. Okay, finally we'll check with the Postman. So it's going to be very long video. So I'll just cut into small parts, and you can refer to each video. Like first part is going to be this, second part is going to be this, third part is going to be this one, or the different in. Okay, also whenever we create an entity type, we have the different string output parameters. So you can select as a string or entity collection, reference, boolean. Lot of options are there, date and time. That also we are going to see with I think we'll just see with the 4 different types. Okay, so just stick to the video and let's start learning together. Now if we have seen the previous video, you can see here, well, not this one. I'm not going to start the things from the scratch, because we have already seen how we can create the plugin, how we can register the assembly, how we can invoke the things in the Power Automate. Everything we have already seen. But now, instead of starting the things from the scratch, I'm just going to focus on the focus on the part where we need to change the entity type. Change the entity type, and similarly we need to change the plugin code as well, so that it should match the entity collection or entity type, whatever we are going to develop. So for that, make sure you have this below prerequisites. You need to have the Power Automate license if you want to invoke it with a Power Automate. Otherwise, it's optional. Also, and then you need to have the Power App license plugin. You should have the knowledge of this Visual Studio plugin registration tool to register the assembly, and XrmToolBox. So if you come here, if you do not have the XrmToolBox, just come to the XrmToolBox and then you download the latest version. Once you install it, now we need to let's focus on creation of the custom API. So let's come back here. Okay, these are the codes not required. I'll be sharing all these codes to my blog. XrmToolBox. Here we have. Let's open the XrmToolBox. And first of all, we need to create a connection. Okay, and if you can see, I have already installed this custom API manager, custom API tester, all these things. I'm going to show you anyhow how we can do this. So first of all, let's click on the connection, and here we are going to create a new connection. So click on the new, and now one sec, select Microsoft login control, use the default open Microsoft login control. Okay, choose Office 365 and sign in. So advanced. Okay. So whenever let's say you have different instances like a test environment, dev environment, and also, and if you want to work on the particular one, just select the list of available organization. It will show you. It will give you an option to select the environment. Okay. Now here I do not know the reason, and let me just copy and paste the username here and this password. Okay. Click on login. XrmToolBox is must for this. Login and then start the connection. Give the password again here. Okay. So now once this, let me just hold on. Okay. Now here you can select, you can see that we have sales trial, dynamics trial environment, DNS, XYZ, whatever you want. I'm just going to work on the sales trial environment. Okay, so click on login. And I have already created one solution. One second, what is this name? Okay, let's give it as Power Dynamics. Okay, click on finish. So click on OK. Okay. Now I have already created one solution, and in that solution only I have created the earlier I have created one custom API and all the Power Automate flows. So right now I am just go if you have a solution, better just go in that, otherwise create a new solution. So for me, let's just open a solution. Let me show you here. Okay, so if you see here, hold on, this is a new page, but not this one. I'm showing you this so that whatever the API we are going to create it, it will be inside this custom API solution itself. Okay. Now, if you have seen this, let's come here and we are here. Okay. So first of all, you need to go and install this tools, custom API tester as well as custom API manager. Go to the tools open library. In the open library, we have this custom API. You just select this one and the first one. Okay, first one just install. Right now I have already installed, so it's not showing the install option. Same way, Dataverse Custom API Manager. Both you need to install. So once you install it, come to the tools, and here we have Custom API Manager. So for creating any custom API, we need the custom API manager. For testing, we need the custom API tester. Remember this. Now, the things which we need to focus here is we have the option here whether you want to select any particular solution while creating the API or you want to put in the default solution. You need to be careful with all these things. So right now I'm just going to buy solution and I'm going to select my solution, which is custom API solution. This one. Okay. And let's say, okay. And it's custom API. Okay. Not the, okay. Create new API. Sorry. This is for testing one. Leave it. So now the default publisher, this is fine. And the unique name I'm going to give it as let's say, let's give it as a global type. Okay, because our first goal is to create a global type, then entity type, then entity collection. Cool. So let's give it as a global type. Okay, and name global type API, custom API binding type. Okay, so here you can see the option in the Power Apps as well as here also it's giving me the option to select the type. Global bounding binary, nothing. Okay, API we have already selected. Okay, and here you can see we have the options to select the plugin as well. So we in the earlier video we have created this plugin, which is dynamics power dot custom API example. So this time we are going to create another plugin and we are going to select that one in this new custom API. So as of now I'm just going to leave it empty. So just create it. Remember, this unique name is very important. Whenever you write a plugin, we need to put this unique name into our plugin. Okay, so it's taking some time to create. After this, once this is created, we are going to create the request parameter and response parameter. Request parameter, let's say I want to fetch the record of contacts. So how I'll pass the contact that value? For that, we need to have the request parameter. So I'm just going here and I'm not going to use a different name. I'll just use, okay, if we have input parameters, no, we don't have. Okay, leave this one. So I'll just give a name as input parameter and name global API input. This is request. Same thing, and it is of type string. Okay, I'm going to type as string and solution. It is already mapped. Cool. And later on we are going to see we have different types like we have entity collection, entity reference. All these things we are going to cover after this. So click on create. So we have created our, oh, so the spelling is input parameter, spelling is wrong. Let me just delete it. From here itself we can delete. and create a new. So I fill the details, going to create it. Same way we need to create a response parameter as well. So here our creating API will get over, that task will get over, only we need to map the plugin. So first let me give output parameter, output, output parameter, name, I'll give it as response, and it's also going to be of type string. Okay, create. Now this one is done. So now what do we need to do? Now we have changed it to global type, and here we are expecting a, what do you call, we are expecting a input. So let me, so here this is the way, and if you see here in the Power Apps also, this is not much difference. You just come here, you give the unique name, name, display name, binding type, almost same. Just the, it's all about the interface. Here interfaces, this one is, it looks more user friendly. Okay. And now let's check on the plugin. Earlier we had a plugin where we are giving the entity name here, but now I don't want to pass it. I want to take it from the user. So for that, let's create a new class. Where is this? Add new class. Also remember, we have already installed, added the NuGet package manager, which was Microsoft XRM SDK as well as Newtonsoft JSON to convert or pass the response into JSON format. Okay, and here let me give the name as global type, global type. I have already created. Let me see if it is not this one, global type. Let me public class multiple response plugin. Okay, let me give the same name. Come here. Okay, let it be global type only. Okay, global type, click on add. Okay, and here this is important. First of all, you should have the NuGet package manage, NuGet all the packages, as well as it should be signed in. So if you see here, we have SNK, right? So click on this one and go to the properties. Here we should have the option of signing in, not on this here. Okay, make sure your plugin is signed in, otherwise it will show you error while registering the assembly. So now coming here, we have this dynamics power. Okay, global type, and I have already written the code. I'm just going to copy and paste it here, and I'll just walk you through the code. Okay, and we have here global type. So this one is going to be global type, and this is dynamics power. So here it's going to be dynamics power. Fine. Okay. So if you see here, first of all, this one, you need to include this one. Okay. So now here, let's focus on the main logic. The main changes which I have done is CRFA global type. So if you remember, while creating this here, we have given the name, right? CRFA global type. Whatever we have given in the unique name of this API, the same thing need to be pasted here. Okay, if it's the name is different, it's not going to be triggered. Okay, so we are doing the message check. It's verifying whether the custom API whatever we have created is matching with the plugin or not. Sorry, is matching with the custom API or not. Okay, now we are checking the input parameter here. So whatever the input parameter we are going to pass as a string and incidence, case, or any table, it's going to validate here. Now, so instead of getting all the, first of all, we are using the link query here, and let's say there may be 1,000 or 10,000 records. So I'm not going to retrieve all the cases or all the contacts. I'm just going to retrieve the cases which is created today. So for that, I have added the filter like date and time created on today and days, all these things. State is active. If you do not want to add this, you simply just comment this one. Okay, and entity collection, leave this. These are I have already explained all these things in the earlier video. And the output parameter, so whatever we have created in the response parameter, you can see here we have input param and output param. So right now I have given input param, So same thing we need to put. Let's say I'm creating another custom API whose name is dynamics and response parameter is power. So say we need to change it here, power, and here dynamics. Okay, these two and the custom API logic name. These three things we need to be very careful. And here the output parameter, it is a string or this passing as a JSON. Okay, this is done. Okay, now once you have copied, I'm going to post this code into my blog. You can refer from there. So let's just save it and I'm going to build it now. Okay, so rebuild the solution. Once you have built it, let's see if it is successful or not. Rebuild succeeded, but it's not showing. Okay, okay, it came now. So we have, let's copy this path, and what we need to do, we need to update the assembly, our assembly. So for that, we need to go to the plugin registration tool. Where is our plugin registration? Plugin registration tool. Let's come and open it. Here also, we need to establish a connection. So for that, first of all, let's go to create a new connection. And here you need to provide the username and the password. And select as a list of this, just check mark this, click on login. And now our environment is sales trial. Login. Okay. Once this is registered, we are going to put this plugin into the API. Okay. So once it is loaded, let's go to our here, click on update. Okay, not this one. Assembly, update it. I'm going to give this one. One second, let's come here and check. See, select your DLL, click on open. Okay, so now I'm going to update only global type. Last time we had already created a custom API, so that one leave it. Select one. Okay, it's going to take some time to update. Let's just wait. Okay, this one is uploaded. Okay, so now what we have done is we have modified we have added a new plugin which is going to take the dynamic input. We have added the unique name of the custom API, input parameter, output parameter, and we are going to fetch all the whatever let's say contacts or cases, whatever we provided. It's going to show the records which is created on today. Okay, now let's come back here and give our plugin into this one. So we have the option to update somewhere. Okay, edit API. Cool. And in the edit API, let's click on this button. Let's search our. So sometimes it's going to give you the like this is not responding because a lot of things gets loaded on the small screen. That's why it shows not responding. So just have some patience. And here I'm going to search Power Dynamics. If it returns anything or not. Okay. So let's come here. The name is Dynamics Power and Global Type. Okay. So coming here, Dynamics Power dot global type. Okay. Select it. We have selected update. Cool. So our API is built successfully now. I'm not sure whether it's going to show any error or not, but as of now it's built. Now we are going to test it. If there is some error, we are going to debug right now. So here, let's go to the tools library, custom API tester. If you have installed it, just play this one. Okay, leave this one. From tools, we need to click on. And here we have the options to select the solution type. If you have any particular solution or the default solution, you can select it from here. So my solution is what is the solution name? Custom API solution, I think, right? And all the API will be shown here. So it was global type API, cool. And scope not required. One second. So we should have the option. Okay, value it is showing here. So now let's say I want to see all the incident which is created today. So incident. Sorry, INCIDent. Click on the execute. It is not visible. So once again, let me see if the name is correct. So it is not returning anything. Now the main problem is we need to find where we are missing the things. So if I see here custom API tester, okay, our name is CRF6A global type. And if we come here, okay, it's very simple, silly mistake which I told you to do a lot of times. Here we have given as a CRF global API, but actually it should be of global type. Okay, so we have global type, input parameter and output parameter. This is fine. Okay, so what you need to do is now you need to save it and you need to rebuild the solution. Okay, rebuild the solution. Once this is done, we are going to come here. We need to update it again. Okay, 415, cool. Updated. This is global type. Once this is updated, now it should hit correctly. Click on OK. Let's come to this one and let's try to hit this. So okay, now if you see it is working correctly in entities. Now it is in string format. Sorry, it's showing in JSON. If you want, you can see in the text. You want to see get in the XML and want to perform something else, you can do whatever you want. Okay, so incident, logical name, ID, attributes, check mail, whatever created on, all these details, name, dynamics, power, everything is here. Instead of let's say incident, I want to see the contact which is created today. Okay, so contact, let me just click on this one and it is showing the entity is null. Okay, null. So currently there is no any record which is created today. Okay, so just to give you a live example, let me just go and create a new contact here, which is in the case, let's go to the contacts, click on new, and here I'm going to give the name as Rajneesh. Okay, click on the save. Once as it is saved, and if I come here and again hit this, it should not give me null. Okay, now it is showing as it is giving me the details. Okay, so here what we have seen, now we have first thing we have covered is we have created a custom API using XrmToolBox custom API manager. We have tested it using custom API tester, and the binding type which is of global and which is taking input any table or entity name. This part is done. Okay, now we are going to see, this video is already so long, so I'm going to cover the entity and entity collection in the second part. Okay, where we'll just focus on a particular entity, let's say case or contact, and then we'll see. So thank you so much. If you're facing any difficulty, you can put in the comment or you can go mail to me, which is manumansajir@gmail.com, and I'll try to help you. Thank you so much for watching this video.